everyone. It's me, Ariel Chanel, and I don't have much time because I kind of stole somebody's room. So I'm going to do a really quick video for you guys. I wanted to share some things that I've experienced throughout this year. As some of you all may know, I turned 25 this year, and I really believe that God used my 25th year to launch me off into my purpose and my calling. And I just want to share what I've experienced, some things that I've been through with you all. So I actually want to think back on the top of this year where I went to Nassau, Bahamas. And I know most people don't usually take their vacations at the top of the year because vacation is usually a time to, reflect and, take a break from your busy work life. But because my birthday is in January, I wanted to kick off the year, my 25th year, doing something great. And I had decided when I turned 24 that I was gonna do something awesome when I turned 25, and knew that going to the Bahamas was what it was gonna be, because I had never been out of the United States ever, like at all. I think the closest I've gotten to getting out of the United States was going to Florida and being able to look over and see something else that wasn't a part of the US. Like, that's it. So I had made up in my mind that I was going to get my passport first off, which I didn't have. Book my flight, head over there, no matter what, no matter who came with me, I was going, and I was determined to do it. Didn't know how, whatever, but I knew that I was going to do it. And it wasn't really just as easy as, getting up, booking the flight and going. I had it planned out in my mind how I was going to do it. But then God told me, hey, Ariel, guess what? It's time to leave your job. Now, this is all the end of 2013. I haven't really hit into 2014 yet. But I was like, okay, Lord, you're telling me it's time for me to leave here and do what you've called me to do. Okay, cool. But it's kind of messing up my plans of paying off my ticket to go to the Bahamas. So, I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to happen, but God took care of all of that. And it really kind of started out this grand adventure for me, because now, instead of having the funds to get a plane ticket to, just go with all ease, I didn't know how I was going to get down to Florida to catch my boat. But what happened was, one of my really good friends, Ashley Morrell, moved to Nashville that year. And, I didn't want her traveling by herself, because who wants to travel across, from Boston down to Nashville in a car by themselves? Like, I don't think anybody should ever have to do that with all of their stuff. So I was like, you know what, God, I really don't want Ashley going by herself. So maybe, I could drive with her and then go from Nashville to Florida. It's at least a little bit closer than Boston to Florida. So that's what I did in the middle of a snowstorm. So it was already crazy. We went down, moved her down to Florida. We moved her down to Nashville. And from Nashville, I had to get to Florida. So yeah, remember all that whole, not having a plane ticket thing? Yeah, that still applied once I got to Nashville. But when I got there, I was able to get a bus from where I was in Nashville down to Jacksonville, where I was headed to take my boat. And when I got on the bus, first off, because remember, it was a bad snowstorm throughout like the whole East Coast, I was the only bus that was able to go out. My bus was the only one that was able to go out. Every other bus was stopped. So I was like, okay, God, that's pretty cool. I'm excited that you're making a way for me, because I was nervous. Like, the whole time I was just like taking steps of faith to get down to this boat. And when I got on the bus, I met this guy who had just come out of prison, and he was so excited to, share with me his daughter and all these different things. And we were able to talk, and, I was able to tell him about where I was going and my journey and how I was getting there and all this other kind of stuff. And it was just a really exciting time to see God, just working in every situation, not just my life, but how he was able to work in this gentleman's life as well. So I get down to Nassau by the grace of God because, my friend Brinson, shout out to him, check out his website, iambrinson.com. He picked me up from the bus station in Jacksonville and was able to take me over to the port, where I met up with my friend Clevin, who had flown down from Boston, which that was even cool because Clevin's flight was the last one to go out. So I was like, all right, God, you want us to be able to relax. But going over there and getting over to Nassau and just seeing how beautiful it was and the adventures that we had over there and the experience that I had over there, it showed me what I was about to start walking into. Now, again, remember I said that I had just left my job and I have not been in a corporate or whatever kind of setting that you want to call it since, because I stepped out to really work with my own company that I am a partner in with two of my other friends, our CEO, Lawrence White, and the COO, Chris Theodat. So I took a dive of faith and just listened to God and made that step to go out and do business full time. And that's where I've been at since then. But in that time in Nassau, I was able to see how God had me every step of the way. Even though I didn't understand, how I was going to get there. I didn't understand how working with Ashley was going to work to get her down to Nashville and then going to Jacksonville, all of that. I didn't know how it was going to work, but God knew. God had ordered every single step, and I was able to really experience the glory of the Lord in that moment. Literally, I'm on a beach in January. It's 80 degrees in Nassau compared to the blistering storm that was happening back at home in Boston. So to be able to sit back and see all of the great things that God had for me, I was able to know that no matter what was going to happen this year, no matter the challenges that I was going to face, the things that I was going to come up against, I knew that it was all for God's glory in the end, all of it. So I just wanted to, take the time to share with you all, think back on maybe a time in your life where things didn't seem so exciting, or something happened and you thought it was going to happen one way, but then things change up on you and you don't know what to do, you don't know what's going to happen. Look on those things and see what God is trying to show you about your life, what God is trying to show you about where he's taking you, especially in this time going into a new year. I look forward to doing this more, and you all coming on more journeys with me and me being able to share more with you all. And feel free to comment on the video, about things that God has done for you in this year, something that God has shared with you in this year. And I look forward to hearing from you all. I gotta go because I think the person whose room this is waiting outside now. So yeah, let me get out of here. But I'll talk to you all later.